This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 345 of the Dressage Radio Show on the Horse Radio Network, brought to you by Total Saddle Fit, 2K Gray, Kentucky Performance Products, and Bed in a Box. Today we talk to Lynn Palm about Western Dressage, and she gives us great tips about collection. Also, we have a great segment about judges' comments. Listen in.
This is Reese Koffler-Stanfield from Georgetown, Kentucky.
And this is Philip Parks from Rockwood, Ontario, and you're listening to the Dressage Radio Show.
Hi, Phil.
Hi, Reese. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It's just you and me tonight. Our first night of the year. You never
Hanging
know.
out with the cool kids, trying to figure out how all this technology works again.
I know.
Did
you guys have a good New Year?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. I mean, it's been good. It's been... It was crazy for a bit just around the holidays, and then now it seems like it's slowed down, even though I'm going back, just getting into the routine of work. How about you?
Same. I think for all of us, holidays were so crazy, but it was super fun. I got to spend it with my nieces and nephew, and they're just they're so cute and funny. And, you just have to learn there's some level of chaos that just, I'm not used to that.
Right. You can only control so much, right?
Exactly. I'm used to horsey chaos. I can completely handle that. But when there's 4 little ones running around, that's not what I'm really good at. But it was good for me. And it was really fun. So also we started the big trek to Florida. Florida's fantastic. But when you're moving 9 horses, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy. And
packing up the whole farm and all the stuff.
Yeah.
They come with a lot of stuff, don't they?
Oh my gosh, so much. And you think, well, it's okay, because it is okay, and you can truly buy anything in Wellington, but when you have that many horses, it's just not feasible to buy everything. So We really try to take as much as we can. And the semi left yesterday, and the first group got there all in good shape, and I head down on Thursday, so I'm ready.
Awesome.
It just got cold. It was 18 degrees this morning. I thought, it's time to go.
I think everybody's having the same sort of experience. Yeah. It was just yesterday, it got really cold here, and we were really enjoying sort of a fall winter, some nice weather, and then all of a sudden snow and cold, and I was not ready for it.
I know. No. It's so true. It is. So, but you're coming down here shortly. You'll be in Wellington next week, right?
The week after.
Sorry.
So it's 2 weeks before we head down. We're really excited about the USDF Adequin FEI level trainers conference.
Yeah, and so that is actually January 18th through 19th at High Meadow Farms in Loxahatchee, Florida. And there is a reception that will be held at Dover Saddlery at 6:15. And some of the criteria, because this is really a fantastic event. The one that's happening in Wellington is actually Jo Hinneman, and I have never seen Jo Hinneman, so I'm really looking forward to kind of hearing he's an old school trainer. It's been around a long time, trained a lot of people. So to be eligible for this conference, you have to be a USDF bronze and silver medalist, and also gold medalist. You can be an L program graduate, a USDF certified instructor, USEF and FEI licensed judges, Brentina Cup qualified riders from previous or current year, NAYRC qualified riders from the previous year or current year. They have some great demo riders this year: Heather Blitz, Endel Otts, Marianne Grant, Aiden Uhler, our faves. We love Aiden. I'm sure we'll grab her to come on and talk to us about it. Melissa Jackson, Kate Poulin, and JJ Tate. And so if anybody has any questions or want to hear a little bit more about the criteria, go to the USDF website, usdf.org, and you'll find all the information there. And if you have any questions, we're also happy to help you in any way we can and get you to the right people. But we hope to see you there. Both Philip and I will be attending. It'll be super fun. So really looking forward to this.
Really looking forward to it. And, sometime around then is when the real shows start, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm excited.
Trying to get to a CDI or something, see some riding.
I think that week is the CDI. Don't quote me on that.
I believe it starts, around that week. So,
but you can also find all that CDI information on the global website, which is a really good one. So that's really fun to see. So,
cool.
Lots of good stuff.
Yeah, it's all coming up. It's all going to be crazy busy again, riding and learning and good stuff. And showing for you, mine's a little ways off, right?
You've got a lot of ways off, but ready to rock and roll. It should be really fun. So, we're going to start showing pretty much the end of January. So it's coming up. It's crazy.
So what do we got going on for the show today?
Yeah, so we have a great interview from Lynn Palm. I think everyone will really enjoy that. But our first commercial break is Bed in a Box. And right after that, we're going to come back and just have a funny with some judges' comments.
Well, hi, everyone. Glenn the Geek here. And I got to tell you a little story. My wife and I, 8 years ago, decided that we needed a new mattress. Ours was pretty old. So we at that time, memory foam mattresses were just starting to come in to be a big thing. And we wanted ourselves a memory foam mattress. So I got on Google or Yahoo or whatever it was back then. And we searched and we came up with this company called Bed in a Box. And the thing that caught my attention about Bed in a Box was the name, Bed in a Box. And I just thought that was fascinating. So we hopped on there and we ordered ourselves a queen size foam mattress. We had never had one before. Well, 8 years later, we just got a new one because we were so happy with the old one, and we put the old one down in the spare room, which I think was a mistake. We'll talk about that later. But we put the old one in the spare room, and we have this new one that we absolutely love. And I'm so excited to announce that Bed in a Box is our newest sponsor here for 2016 on the Horse Radio Network. And I have Brad from Bed in a Box with me. Hi, Brad.
Hey, Glenn, how's it going?
Good. Thank you, first of all, for 8 great years of sleeping.
Hey, you're more than welcome for that.
I know that you probably hear that a lot, but we had always owned the traditional mattresses. You go to Sears, you lay on a couple of them and you go, I want that one, right? Isn't that what most people do? Or they go to the mattress store or whatever. Most people do not order them in a great big box that come from UPS or a delivery service. So,
sure, yeah. Most people they go to the stores and they lay on a million different kinds, and then by the time you've laid on, 50 different mattresses at 10 different stores, they all feel exactly the same.
Exactly. And then you end up buying the cheapest one. So that's what happens. Well, we wanted to try this whole foam thing, which we had never done before. And, it was really starting to become big 8-10 years ago when we looked at our first one. And we went, as I said, in Bed in a Box, because one of your warranty you had back then, and your guarantee that you had back then. And then also the reviews were really good. So we ordered it. I got to tell you, we will not, when we go to hotels now, we love getting home to get back to our foam mattresses because hotel mattresses just don't cut it. They are so comfortable, and the way your body just gets basically absorbed into the mattress, there's not the stress points. And for horse people who are always sore, from riding or falling off or cleaning stalls, we're always being beat up. My wife's broken every bone in her body at least once. And these are just so comfortable, and they take those problems away.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the best benefits of memory foam is just the fact that it has that pressure relief. Because you really just get rid of that, those aches and pains just kind of melt away. And the biggest thing is that you lay in one position, you fall asleep, and you wake up in that position, then you've got a good restful sleep. You weren't tossing and turning all night.
Exactly. Now, Bed in a Box, how long ago did it start?
We started in 2006, sold the first mattress in 2007, and then kind of been rolling along ever since.
So we bought
and
one
it's
of the
all
first
been online.
ones. Actually.
Yep, you very well could have.
So, as I said, we've been thrilled with it. It's still going strong. It's in the spare room now for our guests to sleep on. one of the things I really liked, and it's risky buying a mattress that you haven't laid on, right, in the store, which you don't get to do here. But you take that risk away with a couple of different things. Tell us about it.
Sure. One of the first things that we have is the 120-day zero risk trial. Basically, what that means is from the first day that you get the mattress up until 120 days later, you can lay on that every night, try it out, whenever you want to, and see, is this the mattress for me? No pressure of, well, I have to make this decision soon. Take your time, make sure that it's the right mattress for you. We want you to be happy with it.
And so if I don't like the mattress, I just call you up?
Yeah, you just call us up, and our customer service team is excellent at, identifying any problems that you're having with it. We try to work with you. If there is something that we can do to maybe help you sleep a little more comfortable on it, we certainly go to that link to do it. If not, then we take care of arranging the return process.
Well, I got to tell you, too, one of the things I recommend when you first get your first memory foam mattress is to sleep on it for a week or two before you decide. When the first couple of nights are different because it conforms to your body much differently. Well, the other mattresses just don't. So the fact that these do conform to your body and really don't give you the pressure points that the other mattresses do on your arms or your side or however you sleep, it's going to take you a couple of nights to get used to it. But then all of a sudden, you're going to be a week later and it's just going to dawn on you that I've been sleeping better. And am I right? Am I the only one that went through that process?
No, there's a lot of customers that go through that exact same process. When you've been laying on a mattress that hasn't been supporting you properly for a while, your body gets used to it and kind of adjusts to it. Well, when you go back to one that's supporting you properly, your body's being kind of forced to correct itself, and it kind of, it doesn't want to do it for the first few days. You wake up a little, with some aches and pains, but then, like you said, you'll all of a sudden wake up one day and you'll realize that, hey, my back's not sore, or, my hips aren't sore anymore when I'm waking up. This is fantastic.
I'll tell you, once you go back, once you do a memory foam mattress, you don't go back. That is for sure. And when I talked to customer service all those years ago, when we first bought our first one, your customer service is excellent, by the way. When I talked to Southern Hospitality, when I talked to them, they told me all these things, and they also helped us kind of pick out, because you have so many different models. They kind of helped us pick out a model that they thought we would like, and they were so good about that. I really liked our customer service experience, which when you're spending this much money and ordering it through the mail, it's something you worry about.
Yeah, absolutely. That is one of the biggest things that, initially we had to overcome was, someone spending this kind of money, they wanted to know that there was a company behind us that was going to be here for a while. So, we definitely wanted to make sure that all our customer care agents were trained and made sure that they understand that, taking care of the customer is the top priority for us. We want you all to sleep happy. That's absolute priority for us.
I got to tell you, if you guys have not tried a memory foam mattress and you're due to get a mattress, or you just want to get a new mattress, or what the heck, you don't need a new one, but you want a better night's sleep, then visit bedinabox.com. And the reason it's called Bed in a Box is this thing your mattress will actually come in a box. And you open up the box, it's kind of pressure packed because it is foam. It's kind of pressure packed. You open up the box and you take the plastic off, and your mattress grows. And within about an hour, you can sleep on it.
Yeah, we tell people now that by the time you get done making the bed, it's ready to go.
And the other thing it eliminates, every married couple will know what I'm talking about, and it's that extra arm. One of the two of you, no matter how you're laying, has the extra arm. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, it eliminates that because your extra arm kind of sinks. It has a place to go now without a pressure point. And so every married couple knows what I'm talking about with the extra arm. Okay, now you have several different choices on the website. What's the best way for people to figure out what's best for them?
Usually the first thing that we tell people is, are you a back sleeper or are you a side sleeper? If you're kind of in between, we start from there. So if you're like a back sleeper, most people usually, if they sleep on their back, prefer a firmer mattress. So that's kind of the way we'll go with it. If you're a side sleeper, you usually want something softer because your hips and your knees are going to kind of sink down into the foam a little bit more. So you need a little more cradling support.
And what I recommend is just call them and talk to them about this, and they'll recommend one for you. that will best fit your situation and your price point too. Both of those things. But I can't recommend, my wife and I, Jennifer and I, cannot recommend it enough. Bedinabox.com. There's other memory foam companies out there, but I doubt there's any that have the customer support and really that have the 120-day zero risk trial, the 20-year warranty, and the free shipping, everything that goes along with bedinabox.com. Thank you so much, Brad. We appreciate you being on. And again, thanks for so many years of good sleeping.
Well, over the break, we got a really, really funny email from Eventing Connect. It is the top 22 dressage judges' comments of 2015. And so these are going to make you laugh. So we're just going to start reading them off.
I was just going to say that I really like these because some of them I try and imagine sort of what was going on to cause these comments, and it's just sort of funny to think about.
I know, yeah. So the first one is dangerously high head carriage from Nikki Cook.
Yeah. So for me, dangerously high. That would have to be. Some of them don't even really make a whole lot of sense out of context. I'm sure if you saw what was going on, maybe that would work. I like this one. This erratic steering. This is written to an 8-year-old who was writing an intro test. I can imagine. I've seen some of that erratic steering before.
Yeah, I have too. The next one by Tammy Rose is get a bigger whip.
I don't know. Yeah, I've never
I
don't know. I can only imagine that somebody was riding with a jumping bat, but I don't know.
I don't know if the horse was being bad. The judge is like, you need
to whip it. Like that's not normal. That's not a normal comment.
They don't say the judges' names. It's just the rider.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Some of them are not very nice. Like this next one is like, she looks like a hunter jumper who woke up this morning and said, "I think I'll ride dressage today." I think that's a little mean spirited.
It's mean spirited. I don't like that one. Okay, the next one. Your horse would be more supple if you had the hips of a 18-year-old.
Like, what is somebody supposed to take from that?
That is not nice.
Again, that's mean. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, that's not nice. Yeah.
Maybe joint injections for the rider. I don't know.
Yeah, some yoga. I don't know. All right.
Moving on. WTF was that? Just as an isolated comment, I think that's not what a judge should be writing on a test.
I think significantly, this is not the USDF judge's license would not be okay with these.
Yeah.
The next one I have is disturbing hands. Well,
okay, that's.
Yeah, I think that mean the rider definitely needs to work on their hands.
Yeah, I think there's a longer way to say that, maybe, and more constructive.
Yeah, nice.
This one says survival mode.
Okay, how bad was that test?
Yeah, that must have been somebody trying to stay on.
Yeah, that's bad.
I imagine the horse doing a bronc move or something.
Yeah. No, I think I've gotten this next one. And I've even said it about myself on my first pre-St. George. But the quote is, possibly the fastest dressage test ever ridden.
Right. Yeah. Speed is not activity, Reese.
Yeah, speed is not activity. I watched the video. I'm like, wow.
I was really going fast.
I was going forward. I didn't ride one darn half halt. So, yeah.
Do not show after 6 months gestation. This one comes with a little comment from whoever posted it. It was somebody riding a 25-year-old not pregnant mare who was living on grass at the time. So maybe this horse had a big bra.
So mean. That's not nice.
That's not nice. Yeah. I was imagining when I first read this one, I was imagining they were talking about the rider.
Yeah, I did too. And then I was like, whoa.
Oh,
really
no.
Yeah.
It's probably good advice if that was the case.
Yeah, right. So this one, I maybe have gotten this kind of or similar. Looks like a wind-up toy.
Yeah, I can imagine this was about the pony trot.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Please remove your phone from your boot. Well, I think that's fair if you're going around with a phone in your boot or something.
Wow.
Yeah. I love this one.
Yeah, this is funny. For a properly trained horse, pig, turkey, mates should not bother Please desensitizing. Mating should not bother. Please
Yeah, for a properly trained horse, pig and turkey mating should not bother. How many horses are going to be calm while pigs and turkeys are getting it on? I wonder if that's together.
Moving on.
Hopefully not.
Moving on. Don't give up. Get help.
See, that's sort of, that's okay.
It's okay.
This one's not okay. Horse should be pulling a milk cart.
I've ridden horses that should probably pull a milk cart myself, but
but that's not the judge's place to say.
I agree. Some of these are not nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Riders sadly no more than a passenger.
Yeah, but I think I've experienced this with a student before that said like, like aren't you supposed to be looking sort of like a passenger? Maybe the horse is being bad and they weren't doing anything about it. I don't know. Yeah.
All right, the next one. It must be like riding a snake.
Okay, that's a really wiggly horse. We've all ridden all those.
Yep, we have definitely done that.
And this is a similar one. Very supple, almost as if each leg is doing a different test. All right, maybe these horses need to be organized a little bit more.
Yeah. So yes, well, no extra points for running over the chicken.
There must have been dressage with chickens.
I've never seen this, but wow. I feel like
if there are chickens, maybe you should get extra points for running them over. Most horses would just freak out.
Yeah, I don't think I could even get close to a chicken on most of my horses.
Yeah. You look like you might be late for a train. That must go along with the fast test situation.
Yeah. I've been there. I've done it. So, yeah. That is the biggest 10-meter circle I've ever seen. So,
good comments, some not so nice. Most of them pretty funny.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, like, is there any that you can remember from tests that you've written other than the fastest test ever seen?
Oh gosh, how about you? I've got to think.
I was really trying to come up with one.
Yeah.
But I'd have to go. I'd probably have to go way back.
I'm sure I'd remember it. Probably at the time they weren't funny, but now they probably are funny.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I dug deep into the records, I could find them. But I do think that, my whole thing on judging is sometimes I think you have to just remember judging is very hard. I have to be honest. I don't like it myself at all. I'm much more a trainer than I am a judge because it is very hard. If you've ever tried it or judged or sat in that box and scribed, typically judges do a very, very good job. And they have to look at what they see and write it down. But as you see from some of these comments, I never changed my training style for one judge's comment.
Right.
And I say the same thing for my students. Everybody has a bad day. The judge doesn't know, what happened in the barn or, who knows. Maybe you just had a fight with someone or somebody was in an accident. I mean, they don't know. Only thing their job is to do, and they don't care, nor should they really. That's your trainer's job. But their job is to literally comment on those. On
what they're seeing,
what they see right
5 minutes at that, at that moment.
Mm-hmm. So,
although, But there's a couple. I've had students that where the judge has made a comment about the appropriateness for their horse for dressage, and I think that's sort of
that's not nice.
Yeah, past not nice, but past the spirit of the sport.
Absolutely, and you can.
So what is the recourse for a rider who maybe gets a comment like that?
That's a great question, and I know this because every judge, and I don't know about Canada, Philip, but every judge in the United States, if you can fill up a judge's comment card, you really can. You can fill out a judge's comment card. It goes to USCF, and it will get read. It will go into that judge's file.
So is that the show office that makes those available?
Yeah, or you can call the USCF office directly and essentially form a complaint, and it happens. And sometimes, you should for sure talk to your trainer. There was a test my student wrote in last year, which was actually terrible. The test was not good. She was very upset about the judge's comment. And I said, well, do something about it. Send it in. Put it, get it in their file, and those do get read. They really do, and there are committees that go through those at the end of the year to kind of make sure that the judges are doing the right thing. So you can do that. I don't know about Canada, but you can do that in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, you can contact Equine Canada, and I don't know the exact process, but there is a way to. Yeah, I mean.
No, I think it's important. If you really feel that strongly, again, if it's a comment about your horse or
or about you, as I've seen some stuff that's not appropriate. That I think that they may not do something about one comment or but if a certain judge is getting continuous sort of complaints and there's a case built towards if they're making comments a lot at every show or something then I think. Yeah, I think that's something that should be done. Once you get your judge's card, you shouldn't be able to write whatever you want and just. Yeah. Right. Absolutely. So yeah, I think there's everywhere.
Love it. Yeah, email us if you have any other funny judges' comments that you've received and you want us to read on air. I think they're fun, and I'm going to watch out for funny ones this year, and I'll share them when we get them. But I think overall it's super funny, and enjoy. Definitely.
Yeah, that's a fun thing from Eventing Connect that they did that to collect a bunch of judges' stuff. So that's a good idea. Cool. I mean, you have to be able to laugh, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So at some level, this is all for fun. Yeah, for sure. Well, cool. Well, right after this commercial break from 2K Gray, and we're very excited. We got this note from 2K Gray. We are excited to offer Horse Radio Network and listeners an exclusive promo code that deducts 10% off of all 2K Gray orders. All you need to do is enter the promo code, quotation marks, HRN10, quotation marks, and that is all capital letters. So capital HRN10. Into the redemption code field when you check out via 2kgray.com website, and it will take 10% off the entire order.
Nice. So, thank you to 2K Gray. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and the breeches are fantastic. I was just telling Phil, I'm going to look forward to wearing them at the trainers conference. They're so pretty and very, very comfortable. So I'm looking forward to that.
2K Gray's mission is to honor a woman's adventurous spirit by creating apparel that offers comfort while riding, plus style when you're not. In 2011, Grand Prix rider and entrepreneur Chris Pinto joined forces with fashion industry veteran Meryl Ranzer to create a chic and sophisticated line of performance riding breeches that look and feel better than your favorite pair of jeans. The line, made for women by women, is now being expanded and refined by teaming up with global equine manufacturer and distributor Intrepid International and notable fashion designer Kia Tomlin. 2K Gray offers serious riding clothes that are sturdy in the saddle, yet slimming, stunning, and sophisticated everywhere else. Each detail, from pocket shape to seam placement, is designed to enhance a woman's silhouette and to celebrate different body types. The collection is machine washable and proudly designed in the USA. Check out the new and exciting designs at 2kgray.com. That's the number 2, the letter K, GREY.com. You can also follow them on Facebook at 2K Gray. Feel better and ride better. 2K Gray.
Well, Phil, before we get to this week's news and what's coming up, we're going to have a quick commercial from Kentucky Performance Products.
He was her first love, the one that started it all. He taught her how to master the posting trot and navigate her first hunter course. They spent hours together exploring the trails and hanging out in the barn. His name was doodled on every page in her school notebook. His coat gleamed in the sun as he met her at the gate each day, snuffling for a treat. From the first time she saw him poking his head out of the stall to the last time she patted him goodbye, he was, and always will be, her everything. This love story is brought to you by Nalox Advanced, providing complete support for a healthy digestive tract, which reduces the risk of colic and digestive upset. The horse that matters to you matters to Kentucky Performance Products. Call 859-873-2974 or visit kppusa.com to order today.
Well, it is so exciting this evening to have Lynn Palm on from Fox Grove Farm. How are you, Lynn?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
We are so happy to have you on the show, and we snagged you for a couple interviews this show. So thanks for being such a good sport and staying on with us. And we wanted to do our first discussion. We were talking a little bit off air on Western dressage and the kind of the whole movement. I mean, it's become an incredibly big movement. And can you kind of talk to us a little bit about your involvement and how you started and how you see things going these days?
Well, my involvement is I grew up in the dressage saddle, so I've used the basics of dressage principles as a multidiscipline trainer, competitor, doing many different disciplines, but my heart has always been with dressage and specializing with the quarter horses because I wanted to always try many different things. It led to riding both English and Western. And a short 3 years ago, this move, and it's a great move from a group of people that have Morgans, Arabs, Frisians, I think, Andalusians, and these people all got together and started a nonprofit with Western dressage. And it really has been amazing to see a new discipline become so popular so fast. And for many, many different reasons. But my true heart behind it all is being involved in stock horse or Western horse industry, even though the English horse has always been my favorite, and I've excelled with the English horse to do some Western events also. The involvement is people love it. It gives them something more solid, substantial because of having levels and something that they can follow like traditional dressage. It's they want to ride well for their horses. They love the fact of what they feel in the harmony of horse and rider because they are riding with more accuracy and correctness. They're understanding their horse better. There's just so many facets that are just interesting people. And one thing where a huge market of our horse industry is that middle-aged woman, you know, they like that comfortable Western saddle that's got a horn right in front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you
I think
know,
I'm moving in
and you
that
can
direction.
dress up in different outfits and, you know, it's just, it's a rage right now. It's amazing.
So, Lynn, I have some questions. So,
Okay.
what is the nonprofit where people can kind of get some more information about?
Yes, well, I have followed the Western Dressage Association of America. There is a couple others out there, but they're the ones that are the first ones to do it, and they set up correctly a nonprofit. They as a national organization, and the different states are following it. Florida is one of the fastest growing. Florida and Colorado are the biggest ones right now, but many states, I'm not sure how many are also involved. But why I'm supporting them is because USEF recognized the people that are involved and their intentions for the correct education and to mirror the traditional dressage. USEF has approved that organization.
Awesome.
And that's where that gives, for me, the credentials and the substance to say, hey, now we've got something that is our national governing body that's saying Western dressage is okay. It's a part of the industry that's needed, and they're moving forward with it. And that's where we're supporting that.
Fantastic.
Yep.
So you talked about the levels. So, you know, us as dressage rider are used to training level, first level, on up to Grand Prix. Can you describe a little bit of what are the levels?
Yep, the levels are for it, again, as a young 3-year-old, and I think 2017, it will allow levels to grow because of USCF, they have to be so long in a certain phase. But there's an intro level, just like traditional dressage, walk and trot. The training level in Western dressage is called basic level, which is there's 3 4 tests to each level, whereas in traditional there's 3 tests in each level. But it's your introduction of your canter work in that level, and then your first level, second, and there's third level in the Western Dressage that is that's offered right now, and it goes up to movements as you do. Well, in the first level, they have the yielding, just like in traditional. They have lengthening, starting to lengthen at the trot. Your second level, then you get into your lateral work of your shoulder in, your ravert, haunches in, your walk canter departs, canter walk. Your third level then has a little more through the change of lead, through the trot, through the walk. They don't have flying change yet. That'll come in 2017, but they do have turn on the haunches. They have a pivot. They have the lengthenings of the canter, counter canter. So there's a good mixture of the mirroring, the traditional dressage, and I think as it grows into a fourth level, and where it goes from there is the development of the discipline. Mm-hmm. So I don't think you'll ever see sliding stops, but you may see, a pivot that is simulated to like a reining spin, but not with speed. I think you'll see tepe lead changes. I think you'll see canter pirouettes. Those are all the things that a Western horse also can do, or a horse can do in a Western saddle, I should say.
Right.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
So I have got to ask. You said outfits. Talk to me. We got some
That's so cool. In the competition, and I worked with a wonderful company, a gal that is a dynamic person that's developed the hobby horse clothing. It's a whole Western line, and she's just done amazing of educating and a moderate clothing line for the Western show world. And I've worked with her, and really there's 4 types of outfits that you can create with the Western Dressage. Of course, one is mirroring the Spanish outfit, which that's where it originated. Portugal, Spain, South America came up to California, across the United States. So Spanish influence is, the short type jacket, the hat that's flat brimmed, a flat top hat, the high top boots, like your English boots, more in a black type of an outfit, but the Spanish type outfit. Then you have the vaquero, which I really like. The vaquero is a little, it's vests, it's scarves, it's shirts, it's the chink chaps, which is a short chap below the knee with fringe, high top Western boots. They're really fun. And again, that same kind of Spanish hat with a top, flat brim, flat topped hat. And then of course you've got the show ring type outfit, which is your standard hat and chap Western outfit with either a jacket, a vest, a little bit of bling if you want. Western shoes, boots, and stuff. And then you have your rancher style, which is a little more casual. It can be a simple shirt, Western hat, with or without chaps, short or long chaps. A little more casual, but a rancher style competitive outfit.
So that would be in jeans, right?
That's awesome.
Us ladies, we like to do those kind of things. And then you can do,
I know. Phil's not that much in the outfit, but I was like, what? Talk to me about this outfit.
Yeah, I know.
I like it. And so,
but the tack is conservative. Rarely are you seeing much. You can do show ring, you can do some silver, but it's more working style equipment that really is you're seeing the most of. Nice. Of course, that goes along with the Spanish ranching and vaquero outfits. You don't have the silver and the bling that you see in the show ring in the Western classes today.
Oh, I love it. So,
I had a quick question. Is this all the riding done with one hand?
Well, that's the other best part about the Western. No, it can be done with 2 hands. It can be also done with 1. It's optional. Of course, 1 always with a curb bit, but 2 hands with a snaffle or a curb bit. Or, again, 2 hands always with a hackamore can also be used. That's no bit. That's a traditional Western bridle hackamore. And then you can also use what they call, which comes from the Spanish vaquero training, is there's a graduation, and this is where the event may evolve, but there's a graduation with the real vaquero training where actually they start the horses in a hackamore, go to a snaffle, then instead of like us in traditional go to a full bridle, they go to a little teensy hackamore, which they call a boceta, that sits underneath a curb bit. And that curb bit, then they ride with 2 reins.
Oh, wow.
Like the same as a traditional full bridle. But they do that as a graduation in the true correct training to then graduate to riding just with a curb bit.
Wow. Okay.
All right. That's very interesting.
Now, Lynn, you came out with a book because when I was searching on Amazon about Western dressage, you have a book out to help people start, don't you?
Yes, I do. That's Discovering Western Dressage. And then also one that I have had a lot of success with, and again, that's really helped the Western world, is The Rider's Guide to True Collection. And I guess I've just seen with this evolution actually over the last 20 years in the Western world, people riding Western trying to collect horses and not having any idea what's going on and how to do it.
This tip brought to you by Total Saddle Fit, the shoulder relief girth that Reese and Phillip both love. And here's why.
The saddle fit solution you have been waiting for is finally here. TotalSaddleFit.com is proud to introduce the shoulder relief girth. This strategically shaped girth actually moves the girth line of your saddle back over 1 inch, thereby freeing your horse's shoulders from the saddle. Traditional girths pull saddles up against a horse's shoulders and often over the top of the shoulders. The shoulder relief girth's recessed ends allow for the billets to buckle into the girth farther back to give your horse unparalleled freedom of motion. We are so certain that your saddle will fit better and your horse will be more comfortable that for a limited time we are offering a 30-day, 110% money-back guarantee. If you are not totally satisfied with your shoulder relief girth, send it back for a full refund plus 10% of the purchase price. Don't wait. Order now for the best saddle fit solution available.
At TotalSaddleFit.com. Visit TotalSaddleFit.com.
So, Lynn, how about for this week's Total Saddle Fit Tip of the Week? Can you go with us and talk to us a little bit about your stages of collection and a little bit about, what you go through in the book, because it's fantastic.
Okay. Well, first, the main thing is being able to know your horse, understand your horse, whatever level it's at, and to have obedience and manners and response and command with your horse on the ground. I do that from either working in hand, lunging bitting, long lining. And why those things are very important. One, it's a variety that you can do with training your horse, but it's also you're on the ground. You've got your eyes to visually see how your horse is developing or where he's at or new goals that you're going to advance him toward and when. So those are all important parts of the training and evaluation of your horse. But then the biggest part of the book is people don't know what natural self-carriage is. And I loved one time when I saw Reimer Klimke give a lecture saying that when they never start their horses, at least until 3 years old, they're in a pasture growing up and yada, yada. But when they do, their first year under saddle is only riding with loose reins and letting them learn natural self-carriage. Same thing I do.
Excellent.
They learn to carry my weight. I guide them. They know how to guide with my reins because of the ground training, but guide with legs and feet and just let them learn to carry themselves.
Lynn, I just want to talk about that a minute because I think that's such an important thing is because, a lot of riders when they're starting horses, they have all the tools there. But I think in the beginning, you have to just sort of let the horse be and let them make mistakes, because I think in the beginning, if you spend your whole time sort of packaging the horse together, they don't really get a sense of, moving on their own. And what happens when they put a little bit too much weight on the, on the inside front leg or something, and they stumble or they fall a little bit. But I think that's all part of the horse learning for himself what to do, so that when you start to actually do real collection, that the rider doesn't have to do, too much and overdo it. And then, and then you physically can't get strong enough to actually do real collection when we're talking about piaffe passage pirouettes. So like I said, it starts at 3 years old, so you don't have to go back and redo all of that work all over again.
Right.
Let the horse go too fast sometimes, or sometimes they get a little too slow. They have to figure out that that's not great for them in the end anyways, and the rider just has to get out of the way. I think that's a really important point, as far as, when I start horses in my program. So
absolutely. Yep. And each horse has a different timeline. You do the same kinds of things, but I don't think people enough allow that time for natural self-carriage. And it's their first development. Some horses, it takes 10 months to a year. Some horses till the next year and a half. But it's time that I do things so simple, but I just let them learn to carry themselves. And then I start to train them.
Yeah. No,
then I start to do gradually with the baby steps of them starting to learn more controlled transitions and self-carriage and straightness and lateral movement. And, you bring them along as you do in that first level to then as the levels take them up, then the horse gets stronger. And really the horse collects himself. I never teach him or compact him, as you say, to get him to collect. The development of the horse, they collect on their own, and what you're doing with them, and then getting stronger in their body and their self-carriage.
And that's I think you're just right on with, it takes time.
Yeah.
I can't go to the gym. If I were to start to go to the gym tomorrow, it's going to take me 6 months or so to really get into training shape for, whatever I want to do, run a marathon or I don't know.
Or before you add the next thing, right? You have to sort of start at a base and work from there, right?
And I think you've got to think the same with horses. It really takes time, and I just literally had a lesson right before I came in with a horse that has come in for training, and she's been in now 2 months, and I wish, it's a young rider, and I wish we had taken a picture of the horse when the first day, day 30, day 60. The horse herself, it's a mare, she looks completely different even in her body, and we literally had the same discussion, and that is, it's a younger horse. It takes time. Her muscles aren't used to it. Her body isn't used to it. And so, and I loved how you said every horse is on their own timeline. This is like every human.
And that's why I go back to the ground a lot, because then I get to use my eye. Of course, you can have a ground person when you're training and developing the horse and or rider. But if it's yourself training, which even our students, we want them to ride on their own, but that's why I always still make them come back to a part of it where you put your eye on the ground and you get to see your own horse and how he's doing what you're asking him to do.
That's why dressage riders love mirrors so much.
Yeah.
It's not to check the makeup every day, right?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, I don't have mirrors, but I do go back to the ground for the same reason. Yes, that's right.
Videoing, I think we have a lot of different tools now that we didn't have, or that are easy. Somebody can take a video on your phone. My husband's great at that. Like, hey, honey, I need you for 5 minutes, and boom, he can take a video, and I can see it right away. And I think that's the deal with collection. Collection, you read the scale of training in any discipline and you think, oh, well, that sounds pretty easy. No, it takes a really long time.
Lynn, the thing I saw that was a little bit interesting, maybe we want to go into that. We've got a few minutes here, is just on social media, we saw sort of, a description of how a person can sort of feel the collection. Do you know what I'm talking about?
With their body. It's a picture. You're helping a young lady on the ground. So can you kind of go through that with us a little bit?
And I'm sorry, I didn't understand fully your question.
Oh, I just thought there were some tips that we saw that a person can imitate collection with their own body.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. I was at a wonderful clinic in Texas. I can't remember it was a German man that was teaching that was in the United States for a long time. And he did this demonstration with a person where they could literally have an idea to understand the biomechanics of how a horse collects. And I've done this so many times, and especially, again, with people that don't understand, or where I'm seeing more people that think that they're collecting their horse, but they're riding too much from front to back, and the horse is totally on the forehand. And you simply, and I've done this so many times, put a person, they got to be the horse on the ground. Their hands are the horse's front legs, and the knees are the horse's back legs. And the great tip, if somebody can do this after, and as I'm explaining it, it's very easy to do. You get your hands right underneath your shoulders and your knees right underneath your hips. Now, as you are there on the ground, make sure you got a rug because you don't want your knees to start hurting. You're going to already put your head upward in a comfortable position. So in other words, your head's like the pole of the horse.
Okay.
The second you put your head down, you're going to immediately feel more weight on your hands. Okay?
Makes sense. Yeah.
Back in that
I'm working on
position.
it. Yeah, it's true.
And you want to feel as much evenness of weight on your hands as your knees. But at the same token, you have to be able to say, where's the more weight on your hands or your knees? It's always the hands because of the weight of your head and neck, just like the horse.
Yeah.
So as the horse develops and collects, you have to get in an uphill balance, of course, bearing more weight behind, engaging more of the hind legs underneath to lighten the forehand. So you tuck your knees underneath your belly, and you're going to find that there's less weight on the front legs. Well, actually, I got to back up just for a second. In both those positions, you say, let's go ahead and make a canter depart. So you lift your hands up off the ground, and boy, you can do it easy. In the first one, which is the self-carriage, the second one, you bring your knees underneath your body in that uphill balance, and wow, now they can really lift their hands up off the ground and do a canter depart. Well, that's why a horse can do a higher jump. That's why a horse can turn faster around a barrel. That's why a horse can do tempi lead changes and canter pirouettes and passage and piaffe. But I said, now let's do what most of the people think collection is by pulling their head in and head setting. Well, when that happens, now you got to draw your knees behind your hips.
Makes sense.
And get them back behind your hips. Now let's put that head down because that's what the horse is going to do when you ride too much from your hands, seesaw and head set. Now let's try to do that canter depart. They cannot lift the front hands off the ground.
Yeah.
And they're saying, I can't. I said, what you say? And I was just saying, I can't do it. I said, well, that's what your horse is saying.
Yeah, there you go.
It's so true.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
It's the coolest example.
It's really cool, and the pictures are great. And you can really see, actually, too, when the rider has to tuck their knees under, they have to tuck their bum under, too.
Yes, and that's exactly the horse does the same thing with his hip.
Yeah, exactly. You got to tuck your bum. You got to tuck your hip.
So that's
really
that's an excellent example for the people that we get, and there's so much still in the Western world, they think that a headset is collection. You know, as you collect the horse over time in the body, and the horse is able to get that muscle out behind the jaw, they can flex at the pole, and they're going to have a headset, and you're going to have a connection to it without setting the head. It comes in time.
Well, Lynn, you have been awesome tonight. We have learned so much, and thank you so much. You really spent a lot of time with us, and I really appreciate it. And I hope our listeners will take advantage. We can get questions to Lynn and answer them here on the show about Western Dressage. She's been so gracious to come on. And Lynn, how would our listeners find you online if they have any more questions?
Oh, if they do, they can go to my website, lynnpalm.com. Of course, we've got the Facebook and all the social media. The same thing, just my name, Lynn Palm. You can find it. And, if somebody's got questions right on our website, you can ask us, and we get questions, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that people have. And really the best part of it all is if I have a chance, just like I know both of you, if you can give back to somebody and make their horse happier, that's our jobs as professionals.
You got it.
You got it.
Thank you, Lynn. We'll talk to you soon.
I can't wait.
As always, we love email and Facebook shout outs. If anybody has any more questions on Western Dressage that we can put in our next segment with Lynn Palm, please feel free to email us. But also, if you have any funny judges tips, or maybe not so funny judges tips, we always like to put those in, and we'll be happy to do that. So we wish everybody a very, very happy New Year. We're a couple days late, but our first show of the year. We look forward to hearing how everybody has a wonderful 2016. And you can find our show notes and links to today's guests on our website, dressageradio.com. Like us on Facebook, just search Dressage Radio Show. Follow us on Twitter @Horse Radio. My website is maplecrestfarmky.com, and my email is reese@horseradionetwork.com.
You can find me at philipparksequestrian.com, and my email is philip@horseradionetwork.com. I'd like to thank our sponsors for allowing us to put on a good show, and don't forget to check out all the other shows on the Horse Radio Network at horseradionetwork.com.
Everybody, keep your heels down and your shoulders back, and we'll talk to you next week.